Hoodrich Radio is the voice of DJ Scream Moran is with me. We have a special guest in the building. Consider him family. He's a keynote speaker. He's an actor. He's a rapper. He's an all-over entertainer. Give it up for my brother David Banner.
Man, thank you, man. Scream, if there's one thing that you can say about yourself that you like the most about you, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, cool.
That's the thing that I've been on this year. I think that people need to spend more time thinking. And embracing their mind. Mind is a terrible thing to waste.
My holistic doctor told me, because I was asking her, like, what books do you read? And she said today, because I think she's from, like, Russia. Mm-hmm. She's like, David Banner. She said it's good to read, but we must spend more time reflecting. So, like, you know, I don't just read now. Like, I spend a lot of time. I'm starting to really feel old because I used to couldn't sit down, but, like, now what I like doing the most is sitting on my porch. And reflecting. Like, you can read something, but if you don't spend time with God working it out, it don't really matter. So I spend a lot of time reflecting. I just came off a 30-day fast. I actually feel fat because I just spent these last 2 days eating all the stuff. I was like, no, I can't put it back in there. But yeah, man, I've been a lot on my mind lately.
What you been reflecting on? The music industry coming up?
No, man, I don't. The music industry, I'm just going to be honest with you. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but the music industry really,
say as you feel, please.
It really be the last thing I think about.
Okay.
I really feel like black folks have given the music industry away. You know, I honestly feel like the music industry is, to a certain degree, the right hand of white supremacy now. Wow. They don't have to call us nigga no more. They don't have to push dope in our community. We do it.
But there's got to be some parts of the culture that excites you, or a Kendrick, a Cole, like
I mean, there's flashes, but it used to be the industry. We're talking about, you know, there's things about people that you hate,
true,
that you admire, but I mean the industry as a whole, and it has nothing to do with the children, because I had a interview with Netflix about hip hop, and I told them something that blew everybody from New York away. I said, y'all blame it on these children, but Run DMC was the first group I saw that every opportunity they get, they was, you know, rapping with a rock group. You know what I'm saying? Like we taught our children to get the bag. We just didn't teach them that culture comes first, that our women come first, that there has to be something that's before the bag. So everything that the hip-hop industry is a reflection of my peers and those before me. That was the only reason why I came back and started rapping again, because I can't criticize anything that I can't prove to be successful. I'm not going to tell these kids to do something that I'm not making money off of. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, it don't have nothing to do with these children or these young men and women. They just doing what we told them to do. We told them money over everything, and then they really took it literally and money over everything. So you can't blame them. Show them something better. If David Banner is successful and being like David Banner is how I could get the bag, I bet you 90% of these kids would be rapping like David Banner. See,
like it was kind of in the early 90s. It was very cool to be conscious. And
these kids don't want to hear theory. You've been telling them to go to college. That shit don't work. It just don't work. I told somebody recently, and they didn't understand what I meant by this. I was like, you tell these kids to go to college, but then you get some crack and you stand on the corner, you're going to get some money. So as a logical thinking person, even though I don't agree with that, and you know that's the last thing that I'm about, logically, God put us on this earth to do two things and two things only. That's survive and procreate. So in our God-given ability, that's one thing that white people knew. White people knew if they took all of the resources out of the community and put crack in, you're going to sell fucking crack.
Wow.
You're not going to work at McDonald's. You wouldn't do it. So like for me, it's about us coming up with logical solutions and showing people success. And that's all I ever want to do. I want to be an example of righteousness. I don't want nobody talking to me about God. Show me your God. I told one of my Christian friends, and it blew his mind away because he knows that I don't believe in conventional religion. He asked me why was I so happy about him being a preacher. And I told him, I said, because of my studies of Jesus, you are acting like the Jesus that I read about. You're not trying to feed me Jesus in theory to control me, because most of the time the reason why someone wants to feed you a religion is because they know more about it and they can control you and your actions by you believing in what they believe in. God is everything. God is infinite. God made good and bad. God is not good, bad, or good and evil. God is omnipotent, everything. So the thing is for me is to acquire as much information and as much success. Because I just spoke to a group of graduating lawyers, and I told them I failed you. And they was like, what you mean, David Banner? I said, black people are the only groups of people who take their smartest and their brightest and send them to their oppressor to work. White folks don't send their children to black folks to work.
When you do your keynote speaking, and you say you spoke to a group of lawyers, and I know you've been speaking to universities as well.
2 years ago, I believe what was the number one, the God Box Lecture Series was one of the top black lectures in the United States.
Yeah.
But finish your question though.
What different topics or what are the trending topics for you that you feel like you have to discuss when you go speak to people right now?
Psychology.
Okay, so mine.
The biggest problem with black people is most black people don't like being black. So it don't matter what you teach them. People are like, well, David Banner, why don't you go deeper? Why don't you talk about economics? If you don't like black people in the first place, you're not gonna shop with black folks no way. One of the things that I do is I tell everybody in the room to close their eyes. And then I said, honestly, tell me what you think about black people. Be honest. And the reason why I tell people to close their eyes, because one thing that I do think that they get right with religion is you close your eyes when you pray. If you really thought God was in the air, you would look in the air when you pray. The reason why you close your eyes is because you pray in the right direction. God is in the direction where your eyes are when you close them, and then I'll let you deal with that. That's the whole purpose of the God box. But it don't matter what you do if they don't like black people in the first place. If I don't like you, Scream, it don't matter what you bring to me. I'm going to reject it because I don't like you. And if you look just like me, that's why we have so much hate in our community, especially from the hometowns that we come from. Because a motherfucker look at you like, nigga, you ain't, like Pac said, nigga, you ain't shit, I ain't shit, but I'm better than you. So I know you ain't shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's how people look at you. How dare you come from where I come from and be successful? You think about all of the fucking words in the English language. Why would a God-fearing people call themselves nigga?
What? And then another question: how do you think we got to the place where I've heard Busta Rhymes say this? We've talked about this amongst ourselves. It's almost like in our culture, it's like success is whack. It's like, oh, he's successful now. Fuck him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you think we got to that place?
Well, similar to you, I study. So in a lot of cases, before I speak on things, I don't give theory much. I try to be as right and exact as I possibly can.
Got you.
If you remember. What would happen, any of you all, what would happen in slavery if one slave would escape?
Yeah, you was done.
They would beat every black person.
Right.
Every black person, the house nigga, field nigga, everybody, nearly to death. So what we don't understand, any race that has had terror at the level of black people, Native Americans, the Jewish people. What we don't know because we don't study, it affects you at a cellular level. So literally you're scared of things that has happened to you in the past. That terror has been passed down from your parents. So subliminally, if you sell dope, if you killing black folks, if you doing anything negative, then we applaud that. Somebody get out of jail, it'll be 1 million people at their party. Somebody going to college or opening up their own business, we look at them as why they doing that white folk shit. But the truth is they feel like if you escaping from the plantation, all of us gonna get our ass beat. That's actually what we feel at a cellular level. But that is the reason why I love my people at their most ratchet level, is because Africans didn't get off the slave boat acting like this. We were an experiment. We didn't know what niggas were till we came over here. So they took our religion away from us. Because I even asked black folks, I'm like, dude, like, why are you so happy? Like, the same religion that the two main religions that black people believe in, the Arabs created chattel slavery as it is now, and white folks and Christianity were the ones that put it into play. So these are the two things that black people are the most, is Christian and Muslims. And when I went to Tanzania, I asked an African that. I was like, dude, if that is the case, why are you Muslim? He said, because they took all the resources. You were either with the Arabs or you didn't eat, or you fucking died. So for me, when you look at Africa, people think that people became Muslim or Christian because of some spiritual thing that happened to them. No, that's what their conquerors were. And the truth is, most black people want to be fucking white. Most black people don't want to be black, my dude. So it don't matter what you do if you really want to be a white boy or you want to be a white girl. I watch how you wear your hair. I watch how you act when you see white folks in conjunction. Have you ever noticed when the toughest dude in the hood will beat a black person to a fucking pulp if they look at him the wrong way? White folks come through the hood. Yes, sir. I love you. 4 federal agents. Because I was surprised when they said this in Django. He said it's 50 niggas on this plantation and 1 me. And the niggas won't do shit. Federal agents. I'll give you an example. You remember when the riot happened, or the so-called riot happened in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, Baltimore is one of the most gangster places I've been to in my life.
True story.
If black folks, if you notice, it wasn't one shot fired. And they, in actuality, they were in the hood, so they actually were boxed off. But that's how peaceful we are as a people, but they still make us look like savages. The truth is, man, it's like there is a mental fear and a mental love for white people. But this is the sad part, and I know this is going to piss a lot of us off, but this is the truth, and I'm talking about me too. What we have to realize is most of the parents who are true revolutionaries, those of our parents who were really down for the cause, most of them got killed.
Facts.
Most of our parents are the house niggas. And to keep us safe, they made us little house niggas. Because they survived. Those who survived were the residual effects of being a fucking house nigga or being a get-along gang person. They killed all the rest of them. You feel what I'm saying?
Let's talk hip hop for a second.
Okay.
It's kind of
Yeah, let's brighten it up a little bit. All right, Scream.
So no, just to keep it real, I love hip hop. I feel like to a certain extent, it saved me, it saved some people around me.
Yeah, it saved my life.
And when people give us creative gems, sometimes they hold a place in our heart or emotionally, right? And you giving us creative gems, giving us David Banner.
Thank you, I
giving us a lot
appreciate
of
it.
creative gems. I just have to ask
I was
you.
pissed, though.
What you mean?
Dude, I mean, it wasn't until Charlamagne said it, bro. Like, Charlamagne came out and said the God Box is one of the best hip-hop albums ever.
Right.
And I noticed that even in hip-hop, in most cases, people don't really want good hip-hop. They want it from where they want it from, and they want it from who they like the most. They don't really want real hip-hop. You know, I even look at Sci-Hi, bro. Come on, my dude.
Big shout out to Sci.
If you really want it,
He one of the ones.
then fucking go.
Right.
If you really fucking want it, wear Big Crit.
Yeah.
One of the ones.
People say whatever they want to. Mount Olympus was the fucking shit.
Right.
And I was sitting back waiting. Everybody say they hip-hop heads and want better fucking music. There it was.
Right. Right.
And everybody, they treat us like roaches in the fucking room. I told people, I said, one or 3 things going to happen with the God Box. I said they're going to either act like that shit didn't exist, or they're going to act like they didn't hear it, or they just going to ignore that shit altogether, my dude. I remember Scarface gave me one of the biggest compliments ever. I said, Unc, man, what you think about the God Box? He was like, yo. I said, what's your favorite song? He was like, Who Want It? With Black Thought. He said, that wasn't my favorite song. He said, but the fact that you was on a song with Black Thought and you still living, and he said, your black ass had the audacity to go second. And nobody ever really noticed that you went second.
We noticed, but you gave everybody a lot with, like, I ain't gonna lie. It took me 2 weeks to get to it because of the presentation.
Right. It was a lot.
Flag.
Yeah.
Well, is it my fault that I'm so fucking dope? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
It was art.
What the fuck am I supposed to do? Be simple and not give them? Yeah, I know.
You know how you get that item and you're like, I can't open this.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta wait.
Frame this.
Like, you gave it to us like you literally.
But can I
pulled
tell
up
you
and
something
gave it to
that
us.
hurt me though, for real? I remember being at Universal and having those same type of ideas and them telling me that it wasn't able to be done.
Right.
It was about 4 of us in our company, man, and the thing that hurt me the most is white boys acknowledged it. I had white writers to say, David Banner skillfully went through every genre of music. They were like, the end of My Uzi was classical music. Marry Me was R&B. You had the 2 rock songs. And I didn't even try to do it. It was like he skillfully went through every genre of music and nobody ever said anything. There was like David Banner was one of the first artists, not just hip-hop artists, to do crowdfunding. with the 2-in-1 movement. It's like even the packaging of the God box. Nobody has ever done that shit. But the thing that I hate, unless you a fucking egomaniac, like my dad, we from the country, dog. My daddy said you don't brag.
Right.
He said that's what weak men do.
Right.
You let other people brag on you. But the crazy shit is hip-hop is the only form of music that people in the crowd feel like they better than the person on stage. The sad part is that sometimes that may be the case. But it gets to the point, man, where I'm one of these dudes, man, I live and breathe hip-hop. You know, when I was in the 4th, 5th grade, I was listening to Tila Rock, Stetsasonic, Mantronics, when they weren't even playing rap on my friends used to tease me.
Right.
For listening to the Beat Nuts. You know what I'm saying? You know, when everybody else was on whatever they was on, man, I was on Souls and Mischief. You know what I'm saying? Scarface, the Booyah Tribe, Cam from the West Coast. Like, I love fucking music. And my homeboy told me, Lee, where you at, Lee? Lee told me, he was like, man, he's like, hip-hop hurts you like that was your girlfriend or something. Like, it literally left such a bad taste because I really thought hip-hop was about culture. Hip-hop is some of the most elitist shit in the fucking world, dude.
When you're a fan, right, Kanye West. Right.
Well, since we're here and it happened today.
Hey, hold on, bro, it's crazy. The last time Kanye freaked out, I was here. And then he freaked out today.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I saw what Tip said. We've been working since 6:30 this morning.
Right.
So I didn't get to see the shit. Then I finally saw a clip. I saw a small clip. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Just as a whole, right?
Right.
Because this is it. I don't know Kanye, never met him, right? But that obviously hurt some people's feelings because he gave us hip hop gems.
Right.
Earlier on, he gave us production that was unmatched at the time. And he gave us content. Let's think earlier on.
I don't think it was unmatched. I think what happens is the people that we love in hip hop the most had button pushers. If you look at the creative people, there's not many Chance may be one of the first artists who didn't have a button pusher. True. But if you look at Outkast, who did Outkast have? L.A. Reid. You look at Eminem, who did Eminem have?
Right.
Dr. Dre. You had they usually are backed by gangsters. Kanye. Jay-Z. So it's like you had cats that been doing the same shit since day one, but in order for with creative shit, because of the consciousness level of our people, you have to have somebody that's behind you that's gonna push it. I remember if you remember the first Fugees album didn't do too well. But the second album, the label literally said, if the Fugees fail, all y'all motherfuckers fired.
Wow.
Because I had people that worked over in the building, so they told me the real.
Wow.
So in most cases, it's not because people really love hip-hop like they say they do, but most of these groups have somebody that's going to push them until it picks up. And, like, that's the one thing that I can say that I'm proud of myself more than anything. And I am one of the few motherfuckers that talked about hip-hop. I put up $100,000 2 times for hip-hop when motherfuckers said they wanted better music. The first time they said it, me and Ninth Wonder did Death of a Pop Star. The second time I did the God Box in the face, because all these motherfuckers say they got money, but they won't put money up for they shit. That's why if anybody I respect in the game, it would be Tech Nine. And people don't talk about Tech Nine enough.
Right.
If there's anybody I want to be like in music, it'll be Tech Nine. If it's anybody that I want to be like in movies, it would be Ice Cube. Because they didn't look at him as a star. He said, y'all don't look at me as a leading star? Watch what the fuck I'm going to do. Friday. Then he told them white folks try to come back and get him for $4 million a movie. I just made, 70 to 90 million on Friday. You're going to have to pay me like I'm one of the top actors because I make this bread.
Right.
See, for me, hip-hop doesn't have my heart anymore. Like, I think of it logically. All these motherfuckers talk about hip-hop, but for the most part, if you ain't from where they from, they don't give a fuck about you. How in the fuck Andre 3000 is not in the top 3 every time you speak of rap? Why in the fuck Scarface ain't in the top 5? That motherfucking Ice Cube ain't in the top. Man, Lee set up because Lee is a young historian like me. Ice Cube had a run of 4 albums. He went from the West Coast to the East Coast and smashed every fucking thing. And they act like he don't exist. Bitch, act like I don't exist if they don't want to. I want you to remember this, Scream, and I told you this. From the time I did the hip-hop cypher on BET, I said everything that I do from that point, I'm smashing that bitch.
Wow.
And everything I've done, I have ridiculed that bitch.
So
the best thing for people to do who love hip-hop, keep my old ass away from your motherfucking microphone and your beats. I'm on your motherfucking ass, and I'm smarter than you, too, and I'm much more attractive. A motherfucker try to tell me I'm OG, and I say, well, bitch, can you run faster than me? Can you lift? I just lost 30 pounds in 24 fucking days. I went on a 30-day fast. I look good. Your mama want me and your old lady.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lee. I haven't slept all day. I feel fucking good, Scream.